Hello people, this is Mark from Kharischangeworks. Guys, I hope you are well. I want to introduce to you today a little something that I noticed. And I'm curious to hear what your observations is as far as this particular issue is concerned. It's something that I noticed a while ago, but I haven't really paid much attention to it because it is something that happens naturally. However, today was an eye-opener as far as the blaseness of this whole thing is concerned. Let me give you the background. I went to work and did what I had to do, and I said to this one place, I'll come back afterwards to finish something of that one of my colleagues was supposed to do yesterday. But in true lazy fashion, whoever it was never did this final bit of the job. In any case, I went back and I completed what they were supposed to do yesterday. Now, it's important to note at this particular point in time that the van that I drive is a bit big. It's quite noisy and it's got all kinds of colors on it. It's decorated like a rainbow. And I was coming along this little deserted street en route to where I needed to go to on my destination. And there were people walking on this dirt track where vehicles need to go. And people were walking. That's okay. But this van that I drive is noisy. And people were persistently and consistently deciding that they're not going to shift. They're going to walk in the road. Stupid. I go beyond them nice and slow. Some of them have got kids and some of them are have got babies in little pram things and stuff. So I do the courteous thing and I drive slow around these, bearing in mind they are in the road where vehicles go. And I drive this way and then you've got to come back on yourself to get to the particular destination. And I encountered the same problem. So once going this way and then once coming sort of back onto myself to where this venue is. People just couldn't care less about being in the way. I get to where I need to be and I reverse because I'm finding that that might be easier and a little bit safer, because when I put the van in reverse, it's got like a little alarm thing that makes all those noises to let nearby people know that the vehicle is reversing and they need to make way. Now, I eventually do a 15-20 meter reverse to park up where I need to park up, and there's people swarming around this van as if it was an intruder. Probably was, but it's a road. I do what I need to do, and I have to walk to a particular place to pick up this what my lazy colleague failed to pick up. And I've got my hands full of these things, right? And as I'm walking, people are looking at me and stopping right where I'm supposed to walk. So you have to imagine the scene. People milling around, it's fine. I'm walking with my stuff, that's also fine. But my hands are full with these big things. I'm trying to get to my van. Quite a complicated little situation, bearing in mind that I've got to maneuver around people with big things in my arms when they just decide that they're going to stand right where I need to be. On the second of these trips, there was a group of about 10 who seized the van, and I've got my hazards going, sees me with a reflection of the paintings on the van on my clothing, with an arm, 2 arms full of this stuff, walking in the direction of the van, and they decide that they are not going to make way. They're going to just carry on walking. I decide at that point in time, the only thing I can do is I will stop with 2 armfuls of stuff and let this group pass. No acknowledgement. No, oh, sorry, we didn't see you. Nothing. I do 8 of these trips, which should take me about 10 minutes to do. Took me about 25 minutes to do, maybe even half an hour, because having to navigate my route from point A to point B, which is not very far, but because of these people who are literally in the way. And then, of course, I have the exact same thing leaving the venue, but now I'm obviously going the other way around, and people walk in the road. My observation is simply this. I was absolutely dumbfounded by the ignorance of people. Not just the fact that they were ignorant, but it seemed that they didn't care about the fact that they were actually in danger, walking on the road with children, some in prams, in the road where vehicles need to go, completely oblivious to the dangers that they were in. When it came down to navigating these trips, what I noticed is that people have got no sense of awareness. Or at least, maybe it was just the group of people that were at that place, at that time, today, at that one time. Completely. If there was a bomb or an attack or something or anything dangerous, these people would not have a clue. It is as if all their senses were shut down. They were zombie-like in many ways. And the conclusion I've come to is that most people, based on today's experience, that there is no social connect anymore, because it was me and mine and I, and you don't matter. In fact, you don't matter either. Neither do you and you and you and you and you. In fact, everybody around me, none of you matter, because I'm in my own little world, where I'm the king and where I'm the ruler, in an atmosphere of oblivion, and complete lack of awareness, where I can do as I please, and I do as I please, and it's your fault for disturbing me when you need to do something that involves you. Because now you are inconveniencing me, because now I have to take the people who are precious to me, that come in the shape of children, and shift them off a place that is designed for you, your van, and I've got to move, and that's a big annoyance. So can you please hurry up, because I need to walk where you need to drive. So can I move on and let me carry on what I'm doing? As far as the other people are concerned, they were just milling around like zombies, as if the world didn't exist. It's a sad state of affairs. So my conclusion that I came to today is simply this, that the world has become so desensitized to the world that there is no social connect. The involvement that people have hardly exists now. I wonder if that's part of the agenda, part of the programming, socially isolating. It made me wonder. Don't touch, because you might infect me. Don't come near me, because you might be contagious. So I'm going to stay at a distance, because you are a danger to me. How selfish the world has become. I think I've noticed today in a way that is undoubtedly convinced me to the fact that there's such a isolation mentality in today's society that they don't even realize that they are part of a greater society. Just a bunch of individuals that remain as individuals, even although they might mill around as a little group in a social public place, not realizing that they are the people who are using the same place for the same reasons as they are, because they don't matter, only the I matters. I sat and thought about that in terms of future. I said this to my children, or at least one of my children, the other day. Whilst we're alive, we need to build networks with our family so strong that when we are at our deathbed, that those people who are around about us, our friends and our family, they're the ones who will remember us for whatever reason, the good and the bad. That's legacy. Because while things are good, we need to make sure that we strengthen those networks. Because when it's needed, when things are bad, when you do not have the networks that you should cultivate during a time of good and plenty, there will be no resources to use and manipulate and be able to develop and use when things are in a place of starvation, when there's nothing. Because it is then that we need to know that we can count on some people. And if they're not there by your deathbed, it just means that you meant nothing to them. They might mean a lot to you, but you might mean nothing to them. Because of this, I have to isolate myself from the world, because the world is a danger to me. That's all I want to say. All YouTube admin, please like, share, subscribe, comment, hit the bell, pick all. Please tell all your friends and family. For now, this is Mark from Kharischangeworks. I'll speak to you soon.